Assalamu alaikum. Today we're going to start a new surah, which is Surah Al-Fil, chapter of the elephant. So let's start. Ala barakatillahi ta'ala. The first verse of the surah is Alam tara kayfa fa'ala rabbuka bi ashabil fil, meaning, have you not seen how your Lord dealt with the fellows of the elephant? Is the simplest interrogative particle and is used for questions which may be answered with yes or no. It always occurs at the beginning of a nominal or verbal sentence, prefixed to the following word, which is here
لم
is the most common particle for expressing the negative of verbs with a past meaning. It followed by a verb in the jussive mood, which is here tara. Tara is the verb ra, meaning to see, in the jussive mood, in the second singular masculine person you, refers to the Prophet ﷺ. Now this verb belongs to the basic form of verbs, and it is a defective verb, which consists of two strong radicals and a final weak radical. And also it is a hamzated verb, a verb with hamza as a radical. Though the address apparently is directed to the Prophet ﷺ, its real addresses are not only to the Quraysh, but all the people of Arabia who were aware of the event. Kayfa, meaning how, is an interrogative adverb that may precede both nominal and verbal sentences. Fa'ala is the verb to do, in the past tense, in the third singular masculine person he. Now this verb belongs to the basic strong form of verbs, which all its radicals are strong or sound, meaning there is no weak letter between them. Rabbuka, meaning your Lord. Ka is the possessive pronoun your for singular masculine.
ب
Is an inseparable preposition being attached directly onto the word it governs. It has the general meaning of connection. It can mean at, in, by, with, or on. Ashab is the broken plural of
صاحب
a fellow or a companion. Ashab al-Fil, meaning the companions of the elephant. And what is meant here is the elephant army which came from Yemen under the command of
أبرهة الأشرم
intending to destroy Al-Kaaba at Mecca. Here, Allah Ta'ala has not given any detail as to who were the people of the elephant, where they had come from, and what was the object of their march. For all these things were all known among the people. Now the declension of these verses are: Alif is an interrogative particle, Lam is a negative particle, Tara is a verb in the jussive mood because of lam with a hidden subject. The interrogative adverb kayfa is an absolute object. The absolute object serves as an adverbial modification, typically describing how the action of the verb is performed. Now this may add a little or no extra meaning except to emphasize the action of the verb. Fa'ala is a verb in the past tense. Rabbuka is its subject. Bi-ashab is a prepositional phrase, while ashab is a governing term in idafa construction, with al-fil as its genitive term. Now the next two verses are Alam yaj'al kaydahum fi tadlil wa arsala alayhim tayran ababil, meaning, has he not made their plot unto misguidance, and he sent upon them birds in flocks.
يجعل
Is the verb ja'ala, to make in the jussive mood in the third singular masculine person he refers to Allah Ta'ala. Now this verb belongs to the basic strong form of verbs, which all its radicals are strong or sound. Kaida is a plan, a stratagem, or either a good or a bad plot. Hum is the possessive pronoun, there. The word kaida is used for a secret plan meant to harm somebody. The question is, what was secret in this case? 60,000 troops together, with several elephants, had openly come from Yemen to Mecca, and they had kept no secret that they had come to destroy Al-Kaaba. Therefore, there was nothing secret about this plan. However, what was secret was the motive of the Abyssinians. They, by destroying Al-Kaaba, crushing down Quraysh, and intimidating the Arabians, wanted to take control of the trade route that led from South Arabia to Syria and Egypt. Fi, meaning in, within, or onto, is a preposition that is used here to introduce a state or a condition of someone or something. This state here is tadlil. Tadlil literally means led their plan astray, but idiomatically, leading a plan astray means bringing it to naught and rendering it fruitless. Arsala is the verb to send in the past tense in the third singular masculine person he. Refers to Allah Ta'ala. Now this verb belongs to the form fourth of verbs, which follows this pattern. Ala is a preposition that frequently used with the local meaning on, above, over, or upon, and the object pronoun him is them. Tayra is birds. It is true that it is in singular form, but even though it means plural, a lot of birds that no one can count. Ababil means separate and scattered groups, whether of men or other creatures, which come from different sides. Successively, according to some grammarians, the word is said to have no singular. Now the declension of these verses are: Alif is an interrogative particle. Lam is a negative particle.
يجعل
Is a verb in the jussive mood because of lam, with a hidden subject. Kaydahum is the object. Fi tadlil is a prepositional phrase. Wa is a conjunction. Arsala is a verb in the past tense with a hidden subject. Alayhim is a prepositional phrase. Tayra is the object of the verb. Ababil is an adjective to Tayra. Now the last two verses are ترميم بحجارة من سجيل فجعلهم كعصف مأكول, meaning throwing them with stones of sijil. Thus he made them like straw eaten up. Tarmihim is the verb rama, meaning to throw, in the present tense in the third singular feminine person, refers to tayran ababil. Now this verb belongs to the basic form of verbs, and it is a defective verb, which consists of two strong radicals and a final weak radical. The inseparable preposition be here introduces here the instrument with which the action of the verb is carried out, which is here hijarat, meaning stones or clays. Min, meaning of, out of, or from, is a preposition that indicates here the material out of which hijarat is made, which is here sijil. Hijarat min sijil are stones of clay which had been written or decreed for them that they should be punished therewith. Literally, bihijaratin min sijil means stones of sijil type. Ibn Abbas says that sijil is the Arabic version of the Persian sanaj and jil, and it implies stones made from clay and become hard when baked. The Quran also confirms the same. Ja'ala is the verb meaning to make in the past tense. In the third singular masculine person, he refers to Allah Ta'ala. Ka is an inseparable preposition. It is a synonymous of mithl with the meaning like, as, or similar to. Asaf is the leaves and stalks, the straw, and the green crop. The word asaf, as used in the original, has already occurred in the verse 12 of Surah Ar-Rahman. This shows that asaf means the outer covering of seeds, which the farmer throws away after the grain has been separated from it. And the animals eat it, and some of it falls down in the chewing, and some is trampled under the hoofs. Ma'kul is a passive participle from the verb akala, meaning to eat. So ma'kul means devoured or eaten up. And the meaning behind ka'asfin ma'kul is like the leaves of crops which have been consumed, trampled, and destroyed by animals. Now, God destroyed each one of them with his own stone, inscribed with his name, larger than a lentil in size, but smaller than a chickpea, able to pierce through an egg, a man, or an elephant, and go through the ground. Now, the declension of these verses are, tarmihim is a verb in the present tense with its object and with a hidden subject. Bihijarat is a prepositional phrase. The prepositional phrase min sijil is an attribute to hijarat, and the whole verbal sentence is an attribute to tayra. Fa is a conjunction. Ja'alahum is a verb in the past tense with its object and with a hidden subject. The prepositional phrase ka'asfin is the second object of the verb, and ma'kul is an adjective to asfin,